Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's parsha is Parshas Tzav, and in this week's parsha, when it talks about the sacrifices, there's a verse that says as follows: Eish Tamid. Eish is a fire. Tamid, constantly. Tukad ala mizbeach lo yisichbe. A constant fire shall be kept burning on the altar and must not be extinguished. So the Gemara, the Talmud, Yerushalmi, the Jerusalem Talmud elaborates on this and says as follows: what does it mean, Tamid, constantly? It's coming to teach us something. Tamid is coming to teach us, afilu b'Shabbos, even on Saturday, even on Shabbos, the fire should continue to burn. Afilu b'Tumah, even in a time when the Jewish people are not pure and they cannot really offer sacrifices, nevertheless, the fire still has to be on. And that's why till today, in every synagogue, every shul you go to, there's always a ner tamid, a light that stays on in front of the ark that is constant to connect with this concept of the fire that was always on in the mizbeach, on the altar. So it explains, what is this afilu b'Shabbos and afilu b'Tumah? What does this represent in our service to Hashem? So first of all, the idea of a fire means to say that a person has to have a yearning. You have to have an excitement. You got to be alive. You have to really be connected to Hashem. You have to be able to have that yearning, that expression in your life. Shabbos is a day that we are, everything is calm, everything is good. You're not working. You're going to the synagogue. You're going to the shul. You're with your family. You're on a spiritual mode. So a person would think, I don't need the fire then. I don't need to overwork and have that fire, because naturally I am separated from the world. I'm not involved in worldly, mundane things, and I need to have the fire to keep me balanced. I'm balanced by a status quo, by just keeping Shabbos. So the Torah is telling you, even on Shabbos, you have to have a fire. You have to be able to take up your avodah, your service to Hashem has to be always in a way of yearning. You always want to do more. You're always excited to do more, and you're in that mode. That's number one. Afilu b'Tumah, if a person is in a place of impurity, they are so far gone, they're not doing anything, they're not holding anywhere that they could say that they feel they're in the game. So in that case, perhaps at this point, I don't really need to make an extra investment, because I'm not even in the starters. I'm not even in the regular game. So afilu b'Tumah, no matter where you're holding, you have to take that step, that leap of trying to connect to Hashem. That is what it's explained in one of the sichos of the Rebbe. Now, there's an interesting story or an anecdote that the Alter Rebbe, the first Chabad Rebbe, said that one of the teachings that he heard from his teacher, the Maggid, who was a student from the Baal Shem Tov, on this pasuk, Eish Tamid Tukad Ala Mizbech L'Sichbe, that he explained like this, that it's known that in the first Beis HaMikdash was a very special level, a very special connection, that even though there was a fire on the altar and all the sacrifices would be consumed through that fire, there was a spiritual fire that came down. They had the regular man-made fire on the Mizbeach, but there was an additional fire that came down from heaven. Like just a fire came down from heaven out of nowhere, and it was in the shape of a lion, and it would come and eat and devour and consume the carbon, the sacrifice. That was one of the 5 things that did not happen in the second Beis HaMikdash. Okay? First Beis HaMikdash was on a higher level, so it was there, everybody saw it. It was something you could see. Out of nowhere, so fire came down from heaven and ate the carbon. But still, you have to have a fire from below. Why do we need a fire below? If the fire is coming from above, what do we need to spend on wood? Why do we have to put a fire? The fire is from above. It's a beautiful thing. Let's watch it. Let's see it happen. No, you have to have both. So Eish Tamid Tukad Al Mizbech L'Sichba, the Maggid said that you have to have your own fire, as great as the level you're holding. Whatever level that you're being inspired from above, you have to invest. You have to constantly push forward. You have to constantly grow. Because when you do that, that is what brings that fire from above. Even down below, in times of the Beis HaMikdash, if you wanted to have that fire from above, it would not come if you didn't put on the fire from below. You have to affect the higher worlds by doing your part. And a person has to be able to bring that out in his personal life, that no matter where you're holding, no matter where you are, you could be in a place that you're cruising, cruise control. You don't have to go, you're not going up any mountains, nothing, no challenges, everything is fine. I don't have to kill myself. When do you need a fire? When you're being challenged. You gotta bring out the best of you. But if I'm not being challenged, I don't have to go crazy. No. You always have to have that fire, because when you do that, even if you're not challenged, you're bringing about and much greater revelation on yourself. Hashem shall help, we should be inspired, and we should be able to do that. And when we do that, fire is another part of the verse. Lo tichbed, the negativity will be taken out. So when you have a fire and you're inspired, it will also, not just you're adding in your positivity, but it will automatically remove the negativity from amongst us. Hashem shall we should be able to see that with the coming of Mashiach. B'karav mamish. Amen.